Okay, because it's 5 o'clock, so we're ready to go here. Because I'm just a fill-in, I always have to ask what to do next. So what do I do?
Okay, so we're gonna call to open the meeting.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. And then I need a mover and a seconder to, okay. And, oh. And I'm advising everybody that the meeting is being recorded by live streamed. And then we need to approve the agenda. First and seconder. Okay. And are there any disclosures of interest? No, none for me today. Any deputations? No. Okay, then we'll start with the first application, 1B0325 and 1B0425, 2 new lots from Canyon Contracting.
Okay, thank you. So these are the two applications that we received from Glen Grant acting as agent for Canyon Contracting. So we originally received these applications in early 2024. They were deferred on the basis of an internal MDS study that was completed, brought before the committee again in April of 2025, deferred again until more accurate information could be provided. So the subject property is known locally as 41 Fraser Road. Each application is proposing the creation of one new residential lot, the first being 4 hectares in area, the second being 4.1 hectares in area, and leaving a retained lot of 32 hectares. The subject property fronts on Blind Line Road, Fraser Road, and Hearthstone Road, and both of the proposed lots would front on Hearthstone. The subject property is designated as natural resources with some environmental protection in the official plan and zoned heavy industrial with some environmental overlay in zoning bylaw 01/2019. So the intent of the applications is to create 2 residential lots for sale. The lot is currently zoned entirely heavy industrial. A record of site condition as well as a rezoning would be required on both of the proposed new lots. It's not the intent to permit any new industrial lots. So the land use designation for the subject property is natural resources in our official plan. It's the intent of the natural resources designation to permit a range of uses compatible with the rural area, to make use of the natural resources and assets of the rural area in order to accommodate economic growth in the commercial and industrial sector. The area is characterized by primarily open areas of undeveloped land with a rural setting where the makeup of development consists of agricultural uses, crossroad settlements, limited residential uses, pits, quarries, and a variety of other rural types. So the zoning bylaw, again, currently zones the property as extractive industrial. Should the new lots be provisionally approved, a zoning amendment will be required to amend the zone to rural, which would be a condition of this consent. The provincial policy statement supports growth, economic development, and the best use of land, so it does support these applications as well. So the minimum distance separation, the applicant has retained Stantec to complete an MDS 1 study for 41 Fraser Road. The report and the results of their study were attached to the report for everyone this evening. It clearly shows that there is space, not a lot of it necessarily, but there is space to construct a dwelling with outside of the radius of the MDS study. And so the report doesn't point out any concerns with this proposed development. We received agency comments from Lakehead Region Conservation Authority stating that they have no objections. Mines stated no concerns. Hydro One stated no comments or concerns. And public comments had been received from the Albers family, which is the neighbor to the west. They have seen this new report and were okay with it after I spoke with them yesterday. So it is our recommendation, or my recommendation, that these applications be approved with the usual conditions, including a condition for a rezoning of the property from extractive industrial to rural.
Are there any concerns? Any questions?
It's their fault. that's laid on the property treats the property as if it's flat. And this property has a distinct downhill grade to there. Does that circle get changed in any way to deal with landscape? Topography?
Pretty flat.
I'm thinking like from the farm at the top to the edge of the road at Harsmith. There's significant grade change. And so I'm just wondering if that circle is adjusted in any way for topography.
Can I ask Emma to speak to that
Yeah.
if she's on?
Is Emma still here?
Yeah, I'm on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The way that the minimum distance separation document works does not require an adjustment for topography, and so we didn't look into that.
I feel like that has some bearing on this.
It would be lower then, the site would be lower.
Like I'm just thinking gravity, like if something was to happen uphill. At least then,
So I think, I mean, the MDS is based on smells and noise, and if we're we think if we're gonna be lower, you'd have less noise. Kind of like when we're talking sound, it's kind of like line of sight is louder, so we'd be lower.
does this not have any bearing on if the ponds were to break?
The MDS document is only for odor exclusively, and it doesn't having a setback from a barn or a manure storage does not guarantee anything in terms of like dust, light, runoff, anything like that. It exclusively deals with odor.
Is there any legislation that applies to agricultural products and waste like the?
Proper management,
Yeah.
like manure management,
Is there anything that applies to that? Any overreaching
mammal.
agricultural?
We didn't receive comments from any other agency that we circulated, so there's nothing else that we took into consideration in preparing the report. I mean, I did fail to mention, I guess, that another condition that we would implement here is that there would be a notification agreement put onto title, so that anyone, whoever buys the property, is made aware of the proximity to a farm.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next comment.
Mhm.
And when they came for a building permit, they're gonna see this dotted line.
Correct. When they apply, anyone applies for a building permit, when I'm reviewing it, their site plan has to show that they're within the allotment that's outside of that circle.
And so because this is only scent related, garages and barns.
That's correct.
That's a problem.
Okay.
So, just to
Microphone, sorry.
just to make me feel. I'm just repeating what you said, but so the MDS calculator resulting in the setback, so there's really no, it's at its limit, right? There's no harsher measurement. It's for more than probably what's ever gonna happen. Am I correct or?
Correct, we did worst case scenario.
Okay.
Just to make sure if things change, we weren't gonna be kind of in conflict later.
Okay,
So we showed worst case scenario and then still made sure that a lot could work without any bylaw amendments.
okay.
So we've created a buildable lot without kind of being out of inconsistent with the bylaw.
Okay, I just wanted to see that I read that properly and then, and I'm also, am I correct in the fact that even if we, and when we, we approve this, they still have to be a zoning amendment, right?
Yep, all the conditions that are laid out in the decision have to be met within 2 years.
Yeah, and so the zoning amendment will be part of the condition.
Yes,
It's
it is
already-
laid
it's
out
already
in there.
Laid out in
Yeah.
there. And so we're not, I mean, we have nothing to do with zoning, so they have to get zoning before you can go any further on it anyway, right? Am I right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, so under the recommendation. Is your comment about registered on title building envelope.
It's number 6.
What number is the zoning change that is?
It's number 5. It's number 5 and also, yeah. It's mentioned there.
Are there any other comments in favor of it? Did you want to mention?
No, I think we read the report, agree with the conditions as read and. Or to go into council for rezoning.
Okay, and we don't have any other questions? So
No.
does someone want to make a motion?
I'll move. Are we voting on both of them right now?
One at a time, please.
At a time.
Okay, well, I will vote on the first one. I'll recommend that we approve the first one. I'm sorry, I didn't
And do we have
have a number here.
one B 0325?
B0325 with the conditions outlined.
And do we have a seconder? All in favor? Should I vote? Okay, and then now the second one. Do we have a motion to accept that one?
My turn?
If you like to,
Okay,
one B 025.
I make.
Four.
To. Which is 1B0425. Like that.
We voted on the first one. We need a seconder for this one.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor?
So you're familiar with the process, but next Wednesday, likely, the notice of decision will be emailed out. Listing all of the conditions. There's the 20-day appeal period, and then the 2 years to meet conditions, and then we can work with you to do the zoning, or anything else that you need. Okay,
Very much.
thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, and the next two that we will do is one B 1025 and one B 1125.
Okay, so 2 applications have been received from Lauren Gurnett, acting as agent for Lawrence Gurnett for the property known locally as being up on Uric Drive. These applications are each for the creation of 1 new lot with 2.02 hectares in area, leaving a retained lot of 47.45 hectares. These applications were originally submitted and approved in 2022, but have since lapsed. So the subject property is designated as rural in the official plan and zoned rural residential in the zoning bylaw. The subject property is abutted by additional rural and rural residential lots in all directions. The proposed new lots both meet all area and frontage requirements of the zoning bylaw. An entrance permit would be required from the municipality if one does not already exist. There were no interdepartmental comments received. Agency comments were received from the Lakehead Region Conservation Authority and the Ministry of Mines, both stating no concerns or objections. And council passed 2 separate resolutions, one for each application at their meeting on Tuesday, June 10th, stating that they also have no concerns. So it would be my recommendation that both applications are approved with our usual conditions.
Do we have any questions?
No.
Is the applicant ever indicate why they lapse? Is that?
In their case, they, I believe they said that they didn't realize that there was things that were still outstanding. Yeah. There's always different reasons, unfortunately.
I know, yeah.
Not so, okay.
Yeah.
Would someone like to make a motion to accept one B 1025?
I will. I'll,
10
yep,
is the first one. And
I'll make them.
okay, and do we have a seconder?
Um,
The next one's 11.
okay. On wrong page. Second.
Okay. All in favor? Now, does somebody want to make a motion to accept 1B1125? Okay,
I second it.
seconder. And all in favor? Passed. Don't think you have to read it out, the conditions.
No,
Not
no,
here.
no, here.
Okay. Let's see, now we gotta do the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes from our last meeting? Hmm. Okay, does anyone want to make a motion to accept the minutes from last meeting? Sandy, seconder. Catherine. Is there any unfinished business?
No.
No. Is there any new business?
Yes, so in your package, there's policy 013601, which is the policy regarding recording of municipal council meetings and the retention of videos. So the policy is basically stating and has been passed by council that any meeting that's broadcast on YouTube will be live and available to the public for 2 years. And then followed by a 2-year period where it's in our archive so that we can still access it if we need to. And then it's deleted. And so this is just coming to the committee so that the committee is aware that that will be the case for our meetings as well. And then there's some information about how we are posting now and verbally stating that all our meetings are video recorded and live on YouTube. So
Yeah.
this is more of an information
Yeah.
piece.
Okay. Is there anything else?
There's no new business from me other than that.
Anybody? Do we have a motion to adjourn? Catherine, at 5:17.